You wake up to the blare of an alarm, and your body feels like it is moving through wet concrete. You pour a massive cup of strong coffee just to feel human. By 1 o'clock in the afternoon, your brain fog is so thick you can barely read an email. By 4 o'clock, you are running on pure adrenaline. And by 11 at night, you are lying in the dark, staring at the ceiling, utterly exhausted, yet completely unable to sleep. Does this sound like your Tuesday or your Thursday or your entire life? We live in the most technologically advanced era in human history, yet we are the most chronically fatigued, sleep-deprived generation to ever walk the earth. We treat our bodies like machines that can be hacked with synthetic energy drinks and sleeping pills. But your body is not a machine. It is a biological masterpiece. And over 2,000 years ago, long before modern pharmaceuticals existed, the scriptures laid out a precise 24-hour rhythm for human vitality. Welcome back to Eden's Medicine. Today, we are putting aside the modern noise. We are taking you on a masterclass journey through a single perfect day. We will combine ancient biblical wisdom with cutting-edge physiological science to show you exactly what to consume, how to move, and how to rest from the moment the sun comes up until your head hits the pillow. Grab a notebook, because what you are about to hear is going to reset your biological clock. And whatever you do, pay very close attention to the 3 p.m. protocol. Because modern metabolic research reveals that what 90% of office workers do at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is the exact biological trigger keeping them awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. Natural energy awakening. It is 6 a.m. Your eyes open. For the last 8 hours, your body has been in a state of mild dehydration. Your liver has spent the entire night doing heavy metabolic shift work, filtering out metabolic waste from the day before. What does the modern world tell you to do? Shock your system with black coffee. When you pour acidic, highly caffeinated coffee into an empty, dehydrated stomach at 6 in the morning, you force your adrenal glands to dump a massive spike of cortisol into your bloodstream. You are literally telling your nervous system, we are being chased by a predator. You get a 20-minute high, followed by an all-day tax on your nervous system. In the ancient Near East, the morning began differently. It began with the tree of life, the olive. In the book of Psalms, King David wrote, "I am anointed with fresh oil. My cup overflows." In the ancient world, olive oil was not merely a cooking condiment. It was internal armor. Your morning protocol begins with this exact recipe. Before a single drop of coffee touches your lips, you take 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, mixed with the juice of a quarter lemon and a half teaspoon of raw honey. Now let's look at the science of why this works. High-grade extra virgin olive oil contains a powerful phenolic compound called oleocanthal. Modern biochemical studies have proven that oleocanthal produces the exact same anti-inflammatory response in the human body as low-dose ibuprofen without damaging the stomach lining. When this golden liquid hits your empty stomach, the healthy lipids instantly signal your gallbladder to release fresh bile, gently flushing the liver. The lemon provides bioavailable vitamin C to spark cellular hydration, while the raw honey delivers a microdose of natural glycogen directly to your brain cells. You are not spiking your blood sugar. You are coating your digestive tract in clean, slow-burning fuel. Swallow this. Drink 1 full glass of room-temperature water, and then wait 20 minutes. If you still want your morning coffee after those 20 minutes, have it. But you will quickly notice something miraculous. The shaky, anxious edge of the caffeine is completely gone. Your temple is protected. Midday, focus and beating the slump. It is 12 p.m., midday. The morning rush is over. This is the exact moment the human brain experiences a natural drop in core temperature and a slight dip in alertness. In corporate America, this is when people head to the cafeteria for a heavy sandwich, a bowl of pasta, or a fast food burger. 2 hours later, They are fighting to keep their eyelids open during a team meeting. Why? Because refined carbohydrates force your pancreas to release a tidal wave of insulin. The insulin sweeps the glucose out of your blood so fast that your brain is left starving for oxygen. To beat the midday slump, we look to the Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 8. The scriptures describe the promised land as a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey. Meet your new midday fuel, the shepherd's pack. In 1 Samuel chapter 25, we read the story of Abigail. When King David's elite warriors were exhausted and starving in the wilderness, Abigail didn't bring them empty bread. She packed 200 cakes of pressed figs. She understood ancient tactical nutrition. Instead of a heavy carb-loaded lunch, your midday protocol is a handful of raw almonds, 2 whole dried figs, and a half cup of fresh pomegranate seeds. Let's look under the biological hood. Almonds are rich in an amino acid called L-arginine. When you chew raw almonds, your body converts L-arginine into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator. It physically widens the blood vessels in your brain, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to reach your prefrontal cortex. That is your focus center. The figs provide bound, complex glucose wrapped in heavy soluble fiber. This means the energy enters your bloodstream drop by drop, over 4 hours, rather than all at once. And the pomegranates? They are packed with punicalagins, some of the only antioxidants known to modern science capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier to neutralize cellular waste. You are eating the exact survival ration that kept ancient shepherds sharp while guarding their flocks under the scorching Middle Eastern sun. No crash, no brain fog, just steady, quiet endurance. Afternoon, reversing sedentary damage. It is 3 p.m. We have arrived at the danger zone. Remember the promise I made to you at the start of this video? This is it. At 3 o'clock, a chemical in your brain called adenosine reaches its peak concentration. Adenosine is the molecule that tells your brain, it is time to feel tired. When 90% of modern workers feel this afternoon wall, they walk to the break room and drink a 16-ounce sugary latte or a synthetic energy drink. Here is the biological trap you are setting for yourself. Caffeine does not give you energy. It simply puts a blindfold on your brain so it cannot see the adenosine. While you are sitting at your desk feeling artificially awake at 4:30 p.m., the adenosine is still sitting there, multiplying. When that afternoon caffeine finally wears off at 9 o'clock at night, the blindfold comes off, and a massive, unnatural dam of accumulated adenosine floods your brain all at once. Your system panics, fires off an emergency shot of cortisol to keep your heart pumping, and suddenly, you are wide awake at midnight. Furthermore, you have been sitting in a chair for 7 hours. Sitting compresses your lower spine and reduces blood flow to your legs by up to 50%. Your lymphatic system, the system responsible for clearing toxins out of your tissues, has no heart to pump it. It relies entirely on the contraction of your calf muscles. When you sit, your toxins sit. To break the 3 p.m. trap, we combine a physical law with an Old Testament dietary secret. In the book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 5, the Israelites were wandering in the desert. Do you know what food they cried out for? They didn't ask for meat. They said, "We remember the fish we ate in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic." Ancient laborers knew that the allium family, onions and garlic, were the ultimate anti-fatigue agents. Your 3 p.m. protocol has 2 strict steps. First, the tabernacle walk. You stand up from your desk, go outside into the natural sunlight, and walk briskly for 5 straight minutes. 5 minutes of calf muscle contraction pumps your stagnant lymphatic fluid back toward your heart. The natural photons of sunlight hit your retinas, telling your master clock, it is still daytime. keep melatonin suppressed. Second, you drink a large glass of water containing a squeeze of fresh citrus, paired with an afternoon snack containing raw allium or bitter herbs, such as a small arugula salad with olive oil or a handful of pumpkin seeds. The sulfur compounds in raw alliums naturally dilate your peripheral blood vessels, instantly dropping the physical tension in your neck and shoulders caused by staring at a monitor. You didn't borrow energy from tomorrow morning. You manufactured it right now. Evening. Stress relief and healing. It is 8 p.m. The workday is officially over. You are home. But for most people, the battlefield has simply shifted from the office to the living room. You're sitting on the couch, answering a quick work email on your phone, while the television blares the evening news in the background. Your environment is telling your ancient brain, the war is still happening. To heal the body, the mind must be given permission to stand down. And to do this, we unlock the most valuable medicinal treasures of the ancient world, the sacred scents. When the Magi traveled across the desert to visit the Christ child in the book of Matthew, they brought 3 gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. For centuries, modern historians treated these simply as symbolic royal gestures. But modern pharmacology has revealed something extraordinary. Frankincense resin contains a psychoactive biochemical called insensol acetate. When the scent of pure frankincense enters your nasal passages, it binds directly to poorly understood ion channels in the limbic system of your brain, the exact command center that controls anxiety and fear. Within 60 seconds of inhaling frankincense, your heart rate physically slows down, your blood pressure drops, your body shifts out of sympathetic fight or flight dominance and locks into parasympathetic rest and repair mode. At 8 p.m., you execute the sanctuary protocol. You kill every overhead white light in your home. You switch to low, warm amber lamps. You place 3 drops of pure frankincense or myrrh essential oil into a cold water diffuser. As the mist fills the room, you put your smartphone in another room. You do not check it again. You let the ancient scent tell your oldest brain stem, the gates are closed, the temple is secure, you are safely home. Night, deep restorative sleep. It is 10 p.m., the final threshold of the day. True vitality is not forged while you are awake at noon. It is forged while you are asleep at 2 in the morning. When you enter deep, slow-wave delta sleep, your pituitary gland releases a flood of human growth hormone. This is the exact moment your body takes the olive oil, the figs, the almonds, and the bitter greens you consumed hours ago, and uses them as raw mortar to rebuild your damaged cellular walls. To invite this deep restorative sleep, we prepare the purifying cup. In Psalm 51, King David cried out, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean." In the ancient scriptures, hyssop was the premier herb of purification. Tonight you brew a hot blend of organic chamomile and hyssop tea. The science of the steep is precise. Chamomile contains an antioxidant called apigenin. Apigenin binds to the exact same GABA receptors in your brain as prescription anti-anxiety benzos, calming the central nervous system naturally. But here is the real physiological secret. When you drink a hot beverage 20 minutes before bed, it causes your peripheral blood vessels to dilate. Your body radiates heat outward through your skin, causing your core internal body temperature to drop by roughly 1 degree Celsius. That 1 degree drop in core temperature is the biological ignition switch for deep REM sleep. You drink your tea, you lay down in a cool, completely dark room, and you let the architecture of ancient biology do its quiet, sacred work. You see, true health was never supposed to be a stressful, expensive puzzle. It has always been a rhythm, a daily return to the natural design of the Creator. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., the alarm is going to ring again. The question is, which path will you choose? I want to hear from you. Which part of this 24-hour biblical routine are you going to implement first tomorrow morning? Are you starting with the morning olive oil protocol or the 8 p.m. frankincense sanctuary? Let our community know in the comments below. If this masterclass brought value to your journey, hit the subscribe button, share this video with someone whom you love who is struggling with exhaustion, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a recipe from God's natural pharmacy. May you walk in strength. May your sleep be sweet. And we will see you in the next episode of Eden's Medicine.